Hey guys, Kenny here. Looking for some help on this one. Got a customer that's got a walk-behind snapper mower, 48-inch walk-behind, standard FC 420V Kawasaki. Needed some welding done on the deck. The idler bracket was all cracked and peeled away. I had a good friend of mine take a look at it, and the name's Nick, and he did the work for me, did a great job. So we got that done. And problem this thing had was, you start it up, you go to put it in reverse, it would die. You go to hit the PTO, it would die. Now keep in mind, this is a non-battery mower, meaning the stator goes to a rectifier regulator, then that rectifier regulator supplies voltage to a capacitor, and that capacitor is what feeds the PTO. There's a 15 amp fuse on the other side to protect everything. Okay, see the blue fuse is a 15 amp fuse. Okay, but basically there is no battery. So the stator supplies power, 30 volts AC, to the rectifier regulator, which I took out. It usually goes right up there. And problem that it had was, he said he would jiggle the connector and then the PTO would start. But when I took it apart, if you notice, look at that, it's all fried. And what is fried, if you look at that connection and you follow it back, it's one of the stator wires. It's actually one of the primary wires that goes to the stator. So the only thing I could think of is there's something in that rectifier regulator that's bad, because when I do a test with a meter running, the stator puts out the 30 volts. It's okay, it puts it out, there's no problem. So I don't think the stator's bad, it's not shorted out, so I think it's okay. But the question I had was, the regulator rectifiers go for about $200. I did find a knockoff one that looks pretty good for about 50 bucks. So I ordered it, it's due in tomorrow. And I'm going to actually, where it's shorted out there in that one terminal, I'm going to put an inline, like a 10 amp fuse, and I'm going to wire it up so in case anything happens, it'll blow that fuse instead of melting again. I'm going to try it out tomorrow, so I'll get back to you guys tomorrow. But if anyone has any experience with Kawasaki's that use the non-battery system, that use a capacitor to store the charge for the PTO through a rectifier regulator, I'd like to hear from you in the comments, because is this common? The reason I say that, if you look over here in my boneyard in the back, I have a Skag machine. Well, this is an old Skag, but it's the exact same problem. It's got a ignition that uses, there's the rectifier regulator and there's the condenser. And the same thing happened, the burnt up plug. This one's a lot worse. I mean, this plug, look at that, that's really burnt up. So I'm gonna buy, I bought that regulator, it's coming, the rectifier regulator, it's coming tomorrow. I'm gonna try it out, and if it works in the snapper unit, I'll buy another one and I'll put it in here. But at this point, it's electrical, and you know, this one was charged great too. This one was charging at like 27 to 30 volts AC, so everything was fine. So I'm assuming it's just the rectifier regulator that's at fault. But if anyone has any experience with these rectifier regulators on these non-battery electric PTO driven walk-behinds with the Kawies, let me know, because you know, I'd like to get someone that has experience with this that could maybe help me out. I'm going to try this state with a rectifier regulator. Like I said, stator's putting out good charge and all, but if someone has some experience, I did all kinds of searches and I couldn't find anything where anyone said, oh yeah, the rectifier regulator goes bad and here's how you test it. Even in the Kawasaki factory manual for the FC 420V, there's no test protocol for the rectifier regulator. There's 4 wires going in on one side, and then there's 2 wires coming out that power the capacitor to store the charge. All it says about the charging system is it's from 12 to 14.4 volts coming out of the rectifier as DC, and that's what powers your PTO, and the PTO is protected, like I said, by a 15 amp fuse. But if anyone has any experience with these rectifier regulators, these big ones on there, please comment or give me an email or something, or I'll email you my phone number or something. I just want to talk to somebody because I've got 2 machines already like this and I've never had it before, and I'd like to do the right thing. But like I said, the problem that you have, you try and turn on the PTO, nothing happens, or it shuts the mower off. You try and go into reverse, it'll shut the mower off. So something's not right. So I just want to make sure, and I checked all the other wires, the safety circuits, everything's working fine, the handles are fine, everything's good. I'm assuming it's that rectifier regulator. So like I said, if anyone has any ideas about it or any experience, write in the comments, I'll get with you, and hopefully when this thing comes tomorrow and I try it out, I put a video out that says everything is cool. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. So stay tuned, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, guys.